I don't know how to hook you guys. I don't know what to say that is controversial or what is kind of rage, like that will rage bait you enough to keep you watching to the end. But what I can say is that just like and subscribe. But first, you have to watch to the end so that I can understand the whole point of this video. And if you've already clicked off, like, what is wrong with you? You're the reason why the algorithm sucks and why small content creators kind of have to grind to become the Mr. Beast, even though they aren't Mr. Beast. This is what kills creativity, unfortunately. But that is not what the video is about. The video is about Sonic fans. Are we fanatics? Yeah, okay, but first, before I start talking about Sonic fans, I need to talk about where the word fan comes from. Being a fan basically means being a fanatic. And to explain what's like how like fanaticism work, how it works, I need to say this. If someone is trying to convert you from whatever hardware you're using, like trying to say that go from team red to team green, PC gamers will understand. Or trying to explain to me why the stupid eaten and the rotten apple that has already been eaten before, or let's just say the second-hand apple, right? Why an individual, and I'm not saying that I use that, but I'm saying that why somebody should switch from the already eaten apple and go over to the stupid robot that is color green. That's how like being a fanatic works. Okay, like it means that like canvassing, going around, shouting, saying prayers. Okay, maybe that's just religious, but like just like that thing, just it's not like it controls your life, but you dedicated your life to that kind of thing. You believe that you are correct in that kind of thing. You love that thing that I'm talking about. Okay, so that's just how fanatics works. Like that's how being a fanaticism, that's how it works. And if what I've said right now, if it equates to fans, right? Obviously it does. So Sonic fans are these are groups of people who love Sonic the Hedgehog, who dedicate their life, their art, their money, their children, their children's children to a particular blue rat. But look, it's not that I have any problems with them. I am also a Sonic fan, obviously. But Sonic fans, right, we have certain problems, and it's actually it's like 90% of everyone who I've seen that who like people that actively talk online, let's say on YouTube, on Reddit, 90% of them are grifters in a particular way. And like it's not bad to be a grifter. It's probably due to past trauma, maybe after being fed slop for years. Maybe it actually kind of makes you like skeptical of anything that comes out of Sonic Team's bosoms. But you don't need to be that, like, you don't need to be overly negative. That's just something I can say. But Sonic fans, what is our problem? I want to start from here. We don't understand development. We don't understand game development. Let's use that. We don't understand game development. And how we don't understand game development is the fact that, like, there was a video, right, and it's been getting a lot of views, and I get that the person's channel, right, I get that the person is basically joking, but I don't remember the name of the YouTuber, but the person's videos, right, it kind of appeals to people who like to blame an individual, like to blame stuff without understanding where the blame comes from, where it's supposed to come from. Like, and if you don't understand what I'm talking about, they were talking about how Sonic Frontiers was created, and I was genuinely pissed at it. Like how like the person, I think I remember, like Takashi Iizuka, like a cutout of Takashi Iizuka, trying to explain to Sega how Sonic Frontiers will be this, that, and and Sega was like, okay, and like, yes, no, that makes sense. But like I don't remember most of the video, but it genuinely pissed me off. And how did it piss me off? It pissed me off, and it pisses a lot of people off in the way that the person does not understand game development. Yes, it might be a joke, but a bunch of people will watch this and they will not understand how game development works, and they will just start, like, they will instantly go off with the mentality that Takashi Iizuka is responsible for all the problems of Sonic the Hedgehog right now, when you realize that, like, when you think long enough and you realize that Sega wanted Sonic to be safe, hence Sonic Colors, hence why Generations wasn't as serious as it was. I mean, Takashi Iizuka himself said that, oh my god, my voice is like I actually have cold. I had a cold, and it's subsiding right now, but it's gone into like me coughing. I'm surprised I was able to talk this long without like coughing, but either way, Sonic Colors. Sega wanted to be safe. Takashi Iizuka, right? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Takashi Iizuka said that he does not like he asked Sega, can we use the regular rock for Sonic Colors, like in the music direction, and Sega said no, that they should continue on with the okay, oh sorry, that's Sonic Colors DS, but like you understand, right? That was Sega's call, and as the head of Sonic team, he had to answer. And it's not like he has that kind of creative liberty. You see, let me explain. Game development, he is the director. He is not the sound, he's not the one that designed the sound. I mean, yes, he can have a say in some stuff, but do you want to have constant fights with everybody? Because every section or every part of Sonic team, even the people that have been called in to just help with certain parts of the game, everybody has what they've been told by the higher ups to do, and what the higher ups have told them to do. Even if you recommend it to something that is really cool to them, for them to start trying to convince Sonic the heads at Sega around the time, that's going to be a big problem. So like there are people who work on the visuals, there are people who work on the animations, there are people who work on basically just optimizing everything. There are some people who like try to update the engine. That's what they have been trying to do. Like some people, and it's a collective work. That's what I'm trying to say. But most of the time I see people just blaming one person. And then on like to the people in charge of Sega, right? Like the executives at Sega, it's not just one person. Maybe one person really wants Sega to, do well, and maybe someone just cares about the numbers. Okay, like you need to understand that it is a collective. Okay, a bunch of people are working in the executive part of things, so it's not just one person's decision. There is a board of directors. It's not just one dude that is in charge of everything. So where does this bleed in? Sega back then was trying to be safe with Sonic, trying to be kid friendly with Sonic, and they even tried to do a reboot of Sonic, which is where we got Sonic Boom. Unfortunately, like story wise, in the cartoon, like the cartoon is kind of nice, but like the game's story is subpar. It's like, but that's not what I'm here for. Sonic fans, we don't understand those kind of intricacies, and then we just go off being negative. We don't understand the reasons for certain things, and we go off being negative. And then while being negative, we keep on making Sonic team feel like they are worthless, like some of the people feeling like they are worthless. So, I heard people talking about Sonic Frontiers. I saw a video fixing Sonic Frontiers, and I was like, bro, Sonic team, they do platformers, and now for the first time they decided to do an open world kind of formula kind of game, and they were able to do it decently. Like they were able to do it like well enough that it became one of the highest selling Sonic games of all time. You need to think about that long enough. Like their first time and it was okay enough. Usually it doesn't work like that. Sometimes some companies, they try out something new, and we all saw how how it happens sometimes. A company tries out something new and it sucks, and then they never try anything new again. They go back to the basics and there is no creativity ever again. It has happened so many times. Sonic team had to do, like, this is something that I haven't heard anyone online comment Sonic team like for. I mean, maybe even someone might have said it in an article, I might be wrong, but Sonic team turned their engine. The Hedgehog engine is just made for pretty visuals in their high speed games, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Generations, etc, etc. But they were able to turn an engine like that was built for an engine for high speed gameplay. They were able to make it work for an open world game. That is impressive. They were able to make the lighting decent enough. They were able to make the game, like they were able to make everything feel cohesive enough. Even though, yes, I know some people complaining about the graphics and stuff like that, but like I was able to play, like finally I was able to play Sonic Frontiers, all I can say is that like that game is kind of okay for new Sonic fans. Like the game is okay, like for a game that was trying to be new, right? So it was able to like be a Sonic fan can play the game, and a non-Sonic fan can also play the game and have a good time on the game. This is something that is rare in for Sonic games. They're usually hard, or they're usually like having like there's usually problems with them almost every time. Okay, but this is something that Sonic team was able to do, right? But what happened? Some Sonic fans, I'm not saying that mods are bad, but they instead of like they barely touch the vanilla versions, they just go into the they just go strictly into the into the negative aspects, and this is what I've been doing with Sonic games. I know that Sonic Forces disappointed a bunch of people, but it doesn't mean that all the new stuff that have been coming in we need to be overly negative and overly critical of them. Okay, it doesn't need to be like this every time. And then Sonic fan games, this is the bubble, this is the echo chamber where the loudest part of the Sonic community, they have locked themselves up in. There are some people that maybe like they've played all the Sonic games and they just want to play something new, and the Sonic fan game is there and they play this fan game, and okay, I mean it's fine, controls fine and stuff, but then there are some people who come out saying Sega hired this man, the fans did a better job than Sega. I mean, like, look, if Sega keeps on like the Sonic Unleashed remaster, sorry, let's say this recompiled version, it is nice, but Sonic team needs to start making new games, doing expansions. They could have easily made Sonic Generations, and they could have easily, if like they should have just done Sonic Generations separately, done Shadow Generations as a separate game, right? But no, they decide to add something in because of they just don't want to rip you guys off anymore. Sonic team, they are on their redemption arc. They don't want to make another Sonic Colors Ultimate because of Sega needs a game to come with the Sonic movie, to sell with the Sonic movies, and there it was, Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors sold well. Sega thought it was good. Sonic 06 is a bad game. Sonic team, they know it's a bad game. They're able to joke around that it's a bad game, but it doesn't mean that it is that the game, like design wise, story wise, physics wise, it was a good game. Project 06 is nice. It's an accessible way for you to play Sonic 06, but Sonic 06 itself is not a good game. No matter how many times you mod it, unless you change the entire game itself, it's not a good game in terms of pacing, in terms of high speed platform. And if you don't understand, high speed platform is what I use for games these days. High speed, like a part that gives you dopamine, and then a part that actively requires thinking, a part that like requires you to actually like try out and like explore, do this and that. Most games, they don't have this. And then there are some games that just want you to suffer, that they don't want you to have fun, they want you to grind. And like, games aren't made for grinding. That is not subjective, that is objective. A game, like if you watch a horror film and you're not scared, or there is no tension, there are some people that, yes, they have watched so many horror films that they aren't scared anymore. But if it isn't chilling, right? Like, if you know that, like, imagine a horror film where you know that, like, yeah, this can't even make a child scream. Like, that is not a good game. That is not a good horror. That's not a good like in the horror genre, that is not good. So I think I've gotten lost. But back to Sonic fan games, they're usually bad. I apologize for what you're seeing on the screen, okay? Like, I haven't played Speed Highway in a long time, and this was what I am sorry. Honestly speaking, I am sorry. So back to the video. So the Sonic fan games, usually they are copies of fan games. They are copies of original games. They are really like creative. And I know some people are going to be like, but they are really creative. They barely bring anything new to the table. They're usually reimaginings. And on the Sonic Unleashed, right, Sonic team needed to start making new games instead of doing remasters. You know it's bad when some franchises these days, they have more remastered versions than original versions. I am not joking. You know it's bad when they are rehashing the same thing over and over again. Activision. But Sonic team, right, they've decided to at least do something new. I know some people start mentioning Sonic X Shadow Generations, but they at least decided to add something new to it. That is all. And you need to understand that it is usually Sonic CD but this, Sonic Adventure but this, Sonic Frontiers but this, Sonic Unleashed but this, Sonic Generations but this, Sonic X but this. Like, it is usually just like the same thing but this. I don't like that. it just makes me feel annoyed. It like, and then people come. I'm not saying that being a fan game is bad, but fans treating it like the greatest thing that just came out of like that came like I don't like it. I don't like it. Some people, some fan games, the gameplay, yes, the gameplay is nice, but the story is cringy. It proceeds to insert Mexican music, but it will make you just cringe. Like, what am I like? Did you see Sonic Omens? Usually Eggman has done this, Eggman has done that, and I'm not trying to undermine like some your creative streak or for like some of the developers, but you need to understand that your content is being glazed, and like, I'm not saying that it's bad, but glazing leads to complacency, it leads to degeneracy, it leads to horrible decisions, okay? And like, I don't know why Sonic fan games, and I don't know, Sonic, nobody talks about this, like, it's not that they are bad, but the glaze is just too much within the community. And mods, right? Most mods, right? They don't even. Most mods are just for different fans of different play styles, different fans of different play styles. And honestly speaking, I don't say that I don't like them, but I like subjectively I don't like them. It's like you just trying to engulf yourself in your fantasy. Imagine like you couldn't play as like in let's say in this Black Ops, right? That if there was even modding support, or let's say, let me think about a single player game. Yeah, you kind of hate Mario, so you know how to play a game. You need to like get a game where Luigi is the main character, so you downloaded a mod on whatever hardware you have, and you started to play the mod of like Luigi as the main character, you know, Luigi saving Princess Peach and Mario being the one playable after Luigi. Like, you don't like, I'm going to say this, we need to stop indulging ourselves in our fantasies sometimes. Yes, it's okay to indulge once in a while, but doing it over and over again, it's not, I don't recommend it. It's not something that I think people should like think about for the most part. Now, Sonic, story wise, IDW wise, Sonic IDW, or let's just say W, right? I've heard so many complaints about people talking about the referencing in the games, in the comics, but then I asked my sister, who is not a Sonic fan by the way, that is like, is having references bad? And she was like, if there is no reference, like, do you know that the character is the same character? You see, having Batman saying I'm Batman, or having Joker saying something that he said again, like, or saying like it's just me and you Bats or something like that, or him telling Harley Quinn in every iteration of himself in the comments, in the comics and in the movies, every good iteration of Joker, right, saying that don't kill Batman, that I will be the one to lay him to rest, okay, not you. That is what you call, like, it's not referencing, but just being like literally speaking. There are some things that have been said. This is one of the weirdest bugs I have. Like, this is the weirdest stuff I've ever done in Sonic Adventure. Sorry for cutting it, but this is the weirdest stuff I've ever done in Sonic Adventure. But either way, like you know, some of the references in some Sonic games, right, in the IDW comics, I don't get it. I don't know it. I haven't analyzed Sonic games that much that I can tell when, like, oh my god, like he said that before. I can't tell because I'm a normal individual. I don't know about other people. I know I'm normal to a particular extent, okay? But honestly speaking, these and many problems, like, oh, how can the video end without me talking about the Unleashed Glazers, talking about the Adventure Glazers, the classic Sonic Glazers, people who can't just grow up and realize that there are different ways of playing. And now there are different ways, like back in the prime days of Call of Duty. Oh my god, I was actually not able to cough for a while now. There were two play styles. There was, right? Because there's no differentiating them right now. There was Modern Warfare, and there was also Black Ops, right? The guns, the gameplay, the movement, the perk system, the zombies, those things, it's made it all feel different. That's what everybody at the end of the day, because it was Call of Duty, everybody could come and play those two play styles. Okay, World at War was its own thing, Modern Call of Duty 4 was its own thing, but it doesn't mean that you need to undermine each other. Unleashed, right? Like the Unleashed, the boost style gameplay is kind of bad. It's not sustainable. Instant gratification in life, it's not sustainable. Like talking about drugs, different things, like it's not just sustainable. It's something that is not objective, it's just a fact. Okay, but like we need to just like grow up sometimes and understand that like just because of your playstyle isn't trending right now doesn't mean you have to just go up and all about it. So that was all about Sonic fans. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope that this you've watched to the end. Like and subscribe. Join my Discord and my Telegram group. And if there's any other things I missed, there might be a pinned comment. There might not be a pinned comment, but like so many other things I've loved to say, but time will not allow me. And that is kind of all I have to say for now. Okay. Honestly speaking, I think I'm going to check out my channel. There's a link to, there's a playlist of my Sonic videos, there's a playlist of many other videos, many other things. So yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.